Hello and welcome to the Stronghold Digital Mining Daily Update. Today's Tuesday, October 17th, 2023. This is going to also be a somewhat truncated update, not because there's a lack of things to talk about, but because I am still in the process of making sense of some of those things. So first and foremost, we did get a Form 8K that was filed after the close of the market yesterday. That Form 8K does include additional information regarding this new business relationship that exists between Stronghold Digital Mining and Frontier Mining. So I'm in the process of reviewing that. Our friend on X, Brian Hegg, I saw that he posted, thank you, Brian, he posted a link to a CoinDesk article that pertains to legislation here in the state of Pennsylvania that would seek to regulate, basically crypto mining, okay? It's environmental regulation, and it appears as if though I think, well-intended but somewhat arguably misguided portions of that legislation have been stripped out. And that, in a nutshell, is good news for Stronghold Digital Mining, which, after all, is doing mission-critical work here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania at the direction of our own, Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, right, to clean up coal refuse piles, which are incredibly toxic and just not a good thing to have around. So Stronghold Digital Mining, I think, benefits from this legislation having been, let's phrase it this way, having been, I think, made to reflect something a bit more reasonable, right? And not perhaps the well-intended but arguably somewhat unreasonable version that might have initially existed. Again, being a legislator is incredibly hard work. I have tremendous respect for the time, effort, and energy that the men and women of the Pennsylvania state legislature, that they devote to their job. After all, when you're elected by your constituents as a legislator, it's understandable that you feel, hey, my job is to legislate. Therefore, hey, if I'm not legislating every single day, hey, maybe I'm not doing my job. And, what I think we've all come to realize, even amongst many legislators, is that, hey, sometimes we pass legislation. It is well intended, but sometimes the end result isn't what was intended, right? And, for a lot of constituents, then you have a lot of new rules and regulations that you need to try to abide by. That can, raise the cost of doing business. It makes life a bit more complicated. So again, this is a very, very challenging environment. I have tremendous respect for the legitimately good work that Pennsylvania state legislators attempt to do. In this instance, I think that the bill that is now being proposed seems to strike a more reasonable balance. I do plan to read the legislation, and I will speak more about this in the days ahead. I did see that the price of Bitcoin was hovering around $28,500 a coin. Shares of Stronghold Digital Mining were up slightly as well today. These are all very good things. Now, there is something else that I do want to address. I'm not going to address it at length today, but I do want to at least address and perhaps discuss with you the events that have taken place at Scrubgrass, right? That is our Western Pennsylvania waste coal reclamation, facility. There was an unplanned, outage at the plant, as described in the press release, which was issued on Friday, October 13th, 2023, at the close of business. And I do want to delve into some of those aspects of that particular press release. So far, I've mostly just focused on the Frontier Mining portion of that news release because it is kind of exciting, and I do think that has a lot of interesting potential for Stronghold Digital Mining now and into the future. So the other thing, and this is kind of what took up a bit of my time this afternoon, I crafted a letter to Stronghold Digital Mining, formally requesting, permission to potentially visit Panther Creek, to finally see up close what I have seen and talked about from afar for all this time. So I'm not going to hold my breath. Look at, there's a specific protocol and procedure that needs to be followed, for these sorts of things. So it's not something that I anticipate happening, overnight, if ever at all. But at least the formal request has been put in. So, we'll see what comes of it. So in the meantime, regardless, let's stay positive. Let's be great. And we're going to see each other again here tomorrow.